To present our first award of the evening, I'm proud to welcome one of our country's preeminent nutrition experts. She really needs no introduction, but I'm going to give you just a little peek at a bunch of her achievements. As the Paulette Goddard Professor in the Department of Nutrition, Food Studies, and Public Health at New York University, and the James Beard Award winning author of many books, including Food Politics, Safe Food, What to Eat, Eat, Drink, Vote. She's been an extraordinary voice in shaping the way we all think about food and had a huge impact on my career. She received her own James Beard Foundation Leadership Award last year, and we're thrilled to have her back with us. So please welcome Dr. Marion Nestle.
It's my absolute pleasure to be able to introduce Mark Bittman and to celebrate his Leadership Award. I've known Mark for quite a long time, and I knew him first, as almost all of us did, as a writer about cooking. And in particular, when he was writing for the New York Times and writing the column called The Minimalist, which was not your ordinary cooking column, at least not in my view, because what Mark did in that column was to make cooking easy. And his absolutely brilliant use of the, I'm not sure what you call it, but the multiple ways of using the same recipe. So if you didn't have this ingredient, you could put in that ingredient. And if you didn't have this, you could use that. And it would come out just great, and your guests would be thrilled beyond belief. And for making cooking look easy, it seemed to me that that was sufficient for earning him this award. That was enough. Diano, as we say. But then, and so, you know, I'm fond of saying everybody needs to vote with their fork, and that's the personal choices that you make about your own nutrition. And the minimalist took care of voting with your fork really, really beautifully. But then he went on and did even more, which was to deal with the vote with your vote part of it. I'm somebody who's very interested in food politics. I teach food politics, and I think that what we really need to do is not only to change people's personal cooking habits, but also to move on and try to change the political system, to explain how the political system really works and what needs to be done about it. And Mark has been using his bully pulpit on the New York Times to do that week after week after week in a way that has really changed the people, that really changed people's view of getting involved in politics. He makes getting involved in food politics respectable. And this is such an enormous contribution to the whole food movement that I think it's just obvious why we're honoring him. So I understand there's a video, and let's watch the video. So please join me. Please join me in welcoming and congratulating Mark Bittman on his James Beard Leadership Award.
A tchotchke. I love the use of the word Dianu. I guess I have to go slightly off script, but there wasn't much of a script to begin with, so we're okay there. Marion probably doesn't remember how long we've known each other, but if I said a date, you'd know neither of us was 39. So I want to thank Jane and Susan and Mitch especially, and my friend Sam Cass said I had to be positive, so I'm going to try to be positive. I'm a very negative person, as most of you know. But we're going to drop all pretense here, and I'm going to say I've been extremely lucky, but I've also worked very hard, and in the realm of dropping pretense, I will say that there's been some talent there, but there are maybe not literally, hundreds, perhaps 1,000 people who've helped me along the way. I am I did start writing about food in 1980, so it's been a while. And I started in New Haven. I had great friends there, and most of those almost none of those people are here, which is really a great thing because I don't have to thank them, and or I can thank them in the whatever ether. And many of them sort of remind me every time I see them how I owe it all to them. So that's a cool thing. But there are 3 people here who really, really mean a lot to me, who've really helped me, especially in the last few years. Marion, who maybe more than the last few years, Ricardo Salvador, who's over here, and Michael Pollan, who's been incredibly generous with his time and knowledge, and who I'm more than proud to be on the same whatever this is as him. But I'm going to try to make the rest of this 2-minute thing not so much about me. I get asked this question all the time, whether there's a food movement. And the answer is that we're making one. It's not a yes or no question. We're making one. And what the goal is to have food that's good and fair and just and affordable and green and delicious. And right now, if you look at the big picture, almost none of it is. That's really the problem. It's very, very little of it is. And here's the thing. You can't change food in the United States. You can't change food in the world without changing almost everything else. And you know what that means? This is what that means. There is so much good work to be done. And we have to go out and do it. Thank you.